Hello, and welcome to the El Dorado Hills Workshop 3 video. My name is Zachary Meading.
And I'm Kristen Schnell. We'll be guiding you through this presentation.
The purpose of the Parks and Recreation Master Plan is to develop a guide and implementation tool for the management and development of parks and recreation facilities now and in the future. Most importantly, it's based on local community needs and offers recommendations that support the El Dorado Hills community. While this master plan can fit into many aspects and other studies across many municipalities, the focus of this master plan is specific to the El Dorado Hills CSD owned managed parks, recreation facilities and programs, and the trails and open space for the El Dorado Hills community. The process to develop this master plan includes an inventory of all of the existing conditions, reaching out to the community, hearing what they want and need, balancing those two to develop a needs assessment, ultimately developing the recommendations, and then funding and implementation strategies.
This project will take about 1 year to complete. We kicked off in November 2025 and expect to go to the Board of Directors with the final report by the end of the year 2026. We started with the community outreach in January with the kickoff of the project website, and through July we have had several community workshops, community surveys, and outreach to hear from everyone in the community.
Some of the existing documents that we'll be looking at include land use and zoning maps, as well as previous parks and trail master plans that have been developed for the county. Other information we'll be looking at include the community profile, the demographics of the region, looking at a population of 2025 of just over 54,000 and a 2.7 average household size. We'll look at the demographic breakup of each of the different groups and their age ranges. Here we see the largest group from 35 to 64, total 40% of the population. As I had mentioned earlier, we'll go through all of the inventory of the parks and recreation facilities that are available to the El Dorado community. In addition to the parks, we'll also be looking at the recreation facilities, the amenities they offer, as well as their distribution across the community. As we continue our background research, we'll look at the previous 2 years of programs and see what has been offered and what might need to be offered based on the community desires and input as we move through the process. In order to ensure that we hear from the most number of community members, we've developed a robust community engagement strategy that includes stakeholder interviews, a statistically valid multimodal survey, 3 in-person workshops, and 3 online virtual workshops. We also have a project website where you can share your feedback at any point in time during the entire process.
Workshop 1 commenced on April 14th at the Pavilion at El Dorado Hills Community Park. The workshop was an in-person, and then the online survey was open for 2 weeks. A total of 131 surveys were completed. Survey participants were evenly distributed throughout El Dorado Hills. Our first question asked community members what were the important community characteristics that make El Dorado Hills a great place to live, work, and play. Most often we heard open space and natural environment, followed by safety and low crime in the community. Parks, trails, and community services were important to the community residents, as well as schools and the family-friendly environment, as well as the small town character. The second question asks, what are some issues or trends that may be negatively impacting these community characteristics? We heard overdevelopment and the housing growth, traffic and road infrastructure, as well as needing more parks and recreation facilities and aquatics facilities, and open space preservation. The final question asks, what role can El Dorado Hills Community Services District play to address these issues and support the important community characteristics? We heard most often aquatic facilities development, as well as trail connectivity and active transportation plans. Open space preservation is important to the community, as well as sports facility expansion and general park improvements, and more amenities for the growing population. Workshop 2 commenced on May 21st with an in-person meeting at Norm Rowett Pavilion at the El Dorado Hills Community Park. The Workshop 2 survey was open from May 21st to June 15th, and 78 total surveys were completed. As you could see from the map, survey participants were evenly distributed throughout El Dorado Hills. One of the questions we asked on Workshop 2 survey was, what is one recreation program, class, event, or activity you would most like to see added or improved? We heard senior programs and services and desires for expanded senior opportunities, aquatic programs, pickleball facilities and programs, golf facility and programs, improved trail connectivities, and bicycle-related amenities, as well as bicycle and e-bike safety programs, arts and culture programs. Another question we asked on Workshop 2 survey is, what is one park, feature, amenity, or recreation facility you would most like added or improved? We heard golf-related amenities and additional aquatic opportunities, trails for walking and hiking, improved services for seniors, including enhancements to the existing senior center, bike parks, pump tracks, and mountain bike trails, as well as fitness and exercise opportunities. Since the project website launched in January 2026, we've had over 3,000 website views and 297 feedback comments submitted. Several themes have been rising to the top, including sports fields for youth, walking trails and trail connectivity, and the Veterans Memorial Park, as well as open space preservation and more bike paths and connectivity.
The project website can be found at eldoradohillsmasterplan.com. Scan the QR code to see the project website. The development of it as we go along will share information such as feedback from the workshops, feedback we've collected on the website, as well as information received during the multimodal survey. This allows you to stay in touch as we go through the planning process and see the evolution of the master plan.
Please take the Workshop 3 survey open July 8th. Click the link below or go to the project website at eldoradohillsmasterplan.com, where there is also a link to the survey. And please continue to check back on the website to keep up to date. Thank you for listening. We look forward to your participation in this important project.